Good morning, family. Greetings. Great to welcome everybody here to our Wosay service this morning, and if you're on the East Coast, this afternoon. We are the Wosay community. Wosay is a community of the sacred African way. The way is Ma'at, truth, justice, and righteousness. We believe in the teachings of our elders and our ancestors that God created the universe and all life and placed in each of us a part of the divine spirit. God living in us and through us has given us the right and the power to establish peace and justice in all human life and true harmony with all creation. We believe in the living faith of our ancestors. Ashe.
Shay.
It's wonderful again to be in the presence of such a spirit filled community. It lifts my spirit, and I am ever so thankful and grateful to be here and to have an opportunity to engage with you.
At this time, we're going to move on to our historical tribute with Sister Darnisha, Sister Mama, Queen, warrior woman, Darnisha.
Ashe.
Good morning, family. So I'm doing the historical tribute today, and this historical tribute will start with a little bit of pre-information. If you have not heard of the Golden Stool, the Ashanti Golden Stool, I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about that before we get to the historical tribute. So the Golden Stool um, is the royal and the divine throne of the Ashanti people, and it's the ultimate symbol of power of the Ashanti. It embodies the spirit of all the 11 Ashanti kingdoms. And according to the legend, um, Okomfo Onokaye, I'm sure I mispronounced that, high priest and one of the two chief founders of the Ashanti Confederacy, caused the stool to descend from the sky and land on the lap of the first Ashanti king, Osai Tutu. Such seats were traditionally symbolic of a chieftain's leadership, but the golden stool is believed to house the spirit of the Ashanti nation, living and dead, and those yet to be born. Each stool is understood to be the seat of power of the owner's soul. And when not in use, it's propped up against a wall so that the other souls passing by may not relax on it, or its passing may relax on it. The golden stool is the royal throne, and it must never touch the ground. Instead, it's placed on a blanket. During inauguration, a new king is raised and lowered over the stool without touching it. The golden stool is carried to the king on a pillow, as only the Asante Hene himself is allowed to handle it. During solemn occasions, the golden stool is seated to the king's left on a throne. Uh, let's see, on a throne, um, and with the Ashanti's throne facing the enemy. Here's a picture of that, of the Asante King with the golden stool, which sits on its own throne. Many wars have broken out over the ownership of the royal throne. In 1896, Asante Hene Prempeh I was deported rather than risking losing both the war and the throne. In 1900, Sir Frederick Hudson, the governor of the Gold Coast, demanded that he be allowed to sit on the golden stool, and he ordered that a search for it be conducted. This provoked an armed rebellion known as the War of the Golden Stool, which resulted in the annexation of the Ashanti to the British Empire, but preserved the sanctity of the Golden Stool. In 1921, African road workers discovered the stool and stripped some of the gold ornaments. They were taken into protective custody by the British before being tried according to local custom and sentenced to death. The British intervened and the group was instead banished. An assurance of non intervention with the stool was given by the British and it was brought out of hiding. In 1935, the stool was used in the ceremony to crown Osi Tutu and Prempeh II. With the entire surface of the golden stool being inlaid with gold, you now understand why the British war broke out just for it. although the symbolism and cultural importance of it is why Nana Ya Asantewaa would much rather fight tooth and nail just as long as their sacred golden stool was kept safe, which she was successful in doing. The bravery in the story of Nana Ya Asantewaa continues to inspire many. While she and other resistance fighters were captured and exiled, they successfully defended the golden stool from capture. So, my historical tribute is to Nana Ya Asantewaa. Ya Asantewaa became famous for leading the Ashanti Rebellion against the British colonialism to defend the Golden Stool. There existed a powerful Ashanti Confederacy and an independent federation of Ashanti tribal families that ruled from 1701 to 1896. Born in 1840, Ya Asantewaa was queen mother of Ijisu in the Ashanti Empire, present-day modern Ghana. Inducted queen mother by her brother, Nana Akwesi Afrane Opisi, the ruler of Edwiso, she nominated her grandson as ruler and following her brother's demise. In 1896, Asante Hene King Prempeh I of the Asante Federation was captured and exiled to the Seychelles Island by the British, who had come to call the area the British Gold Coast. Asantewaa's brother was said to be among the men exiled with Prempeh I, deported because of his opposition to the British rule in West Africa. In 1900, British Governor Frederick Hodgson called a meeting in the city of Kumasi of the Asante Hene rulers. At the meeting, he stated that King Prempeh would continue to suffer in exile from his native land and that the Ashanti people were to surrender to the British their historical ancestral golden stool, a dynastic symbol of the Ashanti people. The only known account of Sir Hodgson's speech that marked the war is as follows. He said to them, "Your King Prempeh is in exile and will not return to Ashanti. His power and authority will be taken over by the representatives of the Queen of Britain. The terms of the 1874 Peace Treaty of Formenia, which required you to pay the costs of the 1874 war, have not been forgotten. You will have to pay with interest the sum of 160,000, again, that's francs. Then there is the matter of the golden stool of the Ashanti. The queen is entitled to the stool. She must receive it. Where is the golden stool? I am the representative of the paramount power. Why have you relegated me to this ordinary chair? Why did you not take the opportunity of my coming to Kumasi to bring the golden stool to me to sit upon? However, you may not be quite sure that the government has not received the stool at its hands. I will rule over you with the same impartiality and fairness as if you had produced it." Frederick Hodgson. Nana Asantewaa heard his disrespectful speech to her elders. She was disgusted with the attitude of some chiefs who were scared to fight the British. Nana Ya Asantewaa asserted that if the men don't come forward, then the women will fight. This charged up the men, initiating the War of the Golden Stool, also known as the Ya Asantewaa War, that marked the last war in a series of Anglo-Ashanti wars. Nana Ya Asantewaa said to them, "Now I have seen that some of you fear to go forward to fight for our king. If it were on the brave days of Ose Tutu, Okofumo Anokie, and Opuke Ware, leaders would not sit down to see their king taken away without firing a shot. No white man could have dared to speak to a leader of the Ashanti in the way the governor spoke to you this morning. Is it true that the bravery of the Ashanti is no more? I cannot believe this. It cannot be. I must say this, if you, the men of Ashanti, will not go forward, then we will. We, the women, will. I shall call upon my fellow women. We will fight the white men. We will fight till the last of us falls on the battlefields." She was 60 years old when she said this. She also had a statement that was famous where she admonished them that they should not wear the underclothes of a woman. Her words inspired them to keep fighting, and Queen Mother Nana Ya Asantewaa led an army of 5,000. While she was eventually captured by the British and deported to the Seychelles, her bravery stirred a kingdom-wide movement for the return of Prempeh I and for independence. The Queen Mother died in the Seychelles in exile on October 17, 1921. 3 years later, King Prempeh I returned from exile and would give Queen Mother Nana Asantewaa a proper Ashanti burial. Today, the Ashanti Administrative Region in Ghana, where most of the inhabitants are Ashanti people and who speak the language of Tree, an Akan language group similar to the Fanti. There is a museum dedicated to Queen Mother Nana Ya Asantewaa. It is in the Ijisu Juban district of Ghana. On March 6, 1957, Ghana would gain its independence from British rule and become the first sub-Saharan country to do so. And this is a picture of me this is one of the forts that they actually had trapped the British in for a while, but eventually when the British prevailed, they held Nana Asantewaa, and this is the cell that she was held in. And this is a picture of her with her warrior regalia. So I pour libation to Nana Ya Asantewaa, great warrior, leader, and Queen Mother. Ashe.
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 Thank you so much, sister. Woo! Yeah.
Beautiful. Mama Darnisha, that was wonderful. In the spirit of the warrior woman, it was so good, such a good choice on your part to bring her with us today and to give libation for her in honor of all the work she did and how she continued to strive through all the adversity she had. But as we, before we move ahead, we'll just say to those who might not know, her historical tributes here, we'll say they are done every Sunday. Every Sunday, someone brings a historical tribute, and it's to honor work that ancestors have done, some of them not well known, a lot of them not well known. We want to keep 7 generations of history alive. Because, if we don't teach each other, if we don't teach this, it will not be taught. And somebody else will take this information and destroy it or modify it. So we deserve to know our history, and we need to walk and talk our history and be lifted up by our history, because it is some of the stuff most of the stuff we've done and we made it through gives us strength to keep on pursuing and keep on moving, keep on working hard, because the ancestors did so much more with so much less than we have. That's one of my mantras. So as we move on now, thanks again, Mama Darnisha, and she's going to continue on and bring our litany today.
Sure.
Thank you, Mama Darnisha.
I would like to be Desmond and Mama Ngina.
And good morning again. And as we all just take a nice deep breath so that we can start this. We've had powerful service already this morning, and it is just, there are a lot of heavy hearts today, but the fact that we are here together and that we, again, are this awesome community of like-minded, God-chosen people, we'll be just fine. We'll be just fine, Mama Shanita. Yes, we will. So, here we go. Save us, O Holy One, by your name. Vindicate us by your might. Hear my prayer, divine protector. Listen to the words of my mouth. How can we repay the Holy One for the gifts that have been given to us? We will lift up the name of our Creator in the presence of all our people. We will lift fulfill the vows to our Creator in the presence of all our people. Gladly we bring our sacrifices to you. We will praise your name, O Amun Ra, for it is good. Umoja, unity. We shall strive to maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Kujichagulia, self-determination. We shall define, name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We shall build and maintain our community together. Our brothers and sisters' problems shall be ours to solve together.
Ujamaa, cooperative economics. Together we shall build and maintain our own businesses and together profit from them.
Nia, purpose. We shall make our collective vocation the building and development of our community and the restoration of our people to our traditional greatness.
Kuumba, creativity. We shall do as much as we can in any way we can to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than when we inherited it.
And together, Imani,
Imani, faith.
We shall believe with all our hearts,
All our hearts,
and our Creator,
our people,
and the righteousness
and victory of our struggle.
Ashe.
Ashe.
So take out those envelopes and, well, not envelopes today. We have to do things this electronic way, this new way. So now I will lift up a prayer of thanksgiving. And we say, O Amun Ra Most High, we give you thanks and praise, O Holy One, for the opportunity to give, the opportunity to continue to be there for our community, for our people, for our race, so that we can carry on with the business of Wose and the business of Ileoma Day. We're home for the most part. Those of us that are blessed to still have some income coming in, let us remember that the lights in the PG&E, the water goes on, the trash has to still be taken out, what little there is. They don't give you a break for that. We thank you, O Holy One, again for the lives of our families, our loved ones, and for, again, this awesome community, those in Oakland, those in Sac, those in South Carolina and Mississippi and Alabama and Texas and Atlanta and DC and all over, those in Ghana. We thank you, we thank you, we thank you. And for all of those that are able to, please give from your heart, give from the inner soul. Blessings come to the cheerful giver. We thank you, O Holy One, for your strength, for our strength, for peace, blessings, and courage. In the name of the ancestors, Ashe.
Ashe. Thanks for the beautiful litany, Mama Ngina and Baba Desmond. We're
You're
so
welcome.
thankful today.
Yes, you're welcome.
All right. Okay.
So at this time, right before Baba Sydney does his message, we're going to do something that is on the schedule in our minds. So we're doing it. We're doing it.
Hey, community. You know, when my sister started, when she got a chance to sing, you know, this is me and my little sister, she can't be the only one singing and shining, all right? So you know what this means. You know what this means. And also, this is a song. It's a South African lullaby, and it's a favorite of mine and a favorite of my dear sister Akonke, and so we're gonna give it to you. Bayakala, hey Mankala. Bayakala, hey mankala. Ulusi's way, sepete hili twalo. Ulusi's way, sepete hili twalo. We are crying, we are weeping, help us, Lord. We are crying, we are weeping, help us, Lord. Give us strength so that we can feed the little children. Give us strength so that we can feed the little children. Ipamala o tu se dingale ili twalo. Ipamala o tu se dingale ili twalo. Bayakala, bayakala, hey mankala. Bayakala, bayakala, hey mankala. Ulusi's way, sepete hili twalo. Ulusi's way, sepete hili twalo. We are crying, we are weeping, help us, Lord. We are crying, we are weeping, help us, Lord. Give us strength so that we can feed the little children. Give us strength so that we can feed the little children. Ipamala o tu se dingale hili twalo. Ipamala o tu se dingale hili twalo. Bayakala, bayakala, hey mankala. Bayakala, bayakala, hey mankala. Ulusi's way, sepete hili twalo. Ulusi's way, sepete hili twalo. We are crying, we are weeping, help us, Lord. We are crying, we are weeping, help us, Lord. Give us strength so that we can feed the little children. Give us strength so that we can feed the little child. I see. Let us see. Thank you.
Ashe.
It is time now.
What was the name of that?
All right, it's for our message, and I am honored to be given the opportunity to provide a few thoughts, to muse on some ideas that are in my heart. I want to first giving honor to and praises to the sustainer of all of life, the one who hears the prayers of one who calls on him, who saves a man and woman from the hands of the violent, and who makes the Nile rise and flow for those who are in him. Ra is the perfect guide, Ashe. From the book of prayers and sacred praises in the Husi on page 15, it reads that when he rises, men and women live in their hearts and are lifted up. When they see the one who gives the breath of life to those who are in the egg, who makes people and birds to live, who supplies even food for the mice in their hole, as well as the worms and fleas. May he grant us an honorable burial at an old age, so that we may be safe in his hands. Ashe. If you would bow your heads for a moment and allow me to pray. O Amen Ra, Most High, Sacred One, we bow our heads and humble our hearts as we lift up praises and thanks to you, Ashe. I ask that you cover this community with your blessings. I ask that you guide my tongue and the words that are coming from my heart, that something that I say may be able to touch one person, then my prayers have been answered. Oh, Amen Ra. Ashe. In housekeeping, and in our African way, I would want to open up the floor and ask for permission from our elders. I understand we got a couple of birthdays being celebrated. My mama Rose and my good sister Engina, and I understand my brother Ustadi having a birthday coming up. So I asked for permission from the elders, and I take it that I have been given such, and I want to thank you. Ashe. Well, good afternoon to, it is 12 o'clock. Okay, it's afternoon for everybody. I want to say again how good it is to be in a space created for the purpose of raising up the name of the Most High. Ashe. It is a space that has been set aside especially, specifically to pray and hold one another up, to lift up the Most High. Ashe. I want to raise up and say that the Most High, we understand, created us out of love in his heart. That the book of knowing and creation, it reads that Ra says that I formed from the desires in my heart. I laid the foundation in my eye. The foundation for the creation of the entire universe is laid in my eye. My eye is truth, justice, righteousness, and as Baba Tai so aptly says and has added on, love. I say the foundation of Wosei, written in what we believe and what we practice, is that our foundation is also in mind. Ashe. Now, in these challenging times, and with all that's going on in the world, with the turmoil and the trials and the tribulations that we all face and the uncertainty, we need something to hold on to. Ashe. We need to have something that is greater or bigger than our ideas, bigger than us, bigger than the maximum that we can conceptualize. We need to hold on to something. And I want you to kind of follow along with me. When I think of ourselves, when I think of myself, when I think of us, I imagine they're all children. And as small children, we're confined to our, perhaps, if you were like me, our full experience, our expanded experience might go from the house to maybe that bottom step. That like so many of us, you couldn't venture beyond that bottom step. But once you move from the house to the step and we're able to see something greater, our vision starts to expand. Do you follow me?
Yes, sir.
That while you're in the house, your vision, your experience would just be what you see in your house.
Yeah.
And moving from that high chair crib, now you're sitting on that bottom step. And as you sit back and look, all of a sudden, you see that there is more to life than what you had experienced to that point. I received the other day, and I know that Mama Akana will appreciate this. I received a video the other day of my grandchildren in Atlanta. And on this video, my youngest grandson, who's about 6, had climbed a tree. He had experienced, I suspect, climbing a tree before. But in this particular instance, climbing that tree, he had gotten farther than he had ever climbed before. His vision, his goals, his challenges had expanded. And he climbed the tree, and so profoundly, when he had gotten to that spot and was trying to come back down, he got a little frightened. And he said these profound words, "I don't know my way." So with that in mind, today's message is keep alive the dream in your heart, and my eye is the way. Today's reading I will be taking from Hosea and from Brother Howard Thurman, who in my mind is just one of our great mystics. And one of the things that Howard Thurman had written on in his book, Meditation of the Heart, he says that as long as a man or woman has a dream in their heart, he or she cannot lose the significance of living. If you would, I want you to think back to that child who is sitting at that bottom step in front of their house. And of course, when we allow our children, those parents and teachers, to go beyond where they had gone before to that bottom step, they're out on their own, they're experiencing some little independence. Of course, with clear instructions like don't leave the step, and not to physically leave the step or the stoop. Just imagine the mind of that child in that first instant, that you're sitting down on the bottom stoop and you're looking, or bottom stair, and you're looking out at possibly a car driving by. And now you begin to notice things like the color of the car, maybe the size of the car. And you may see a tree or trees, and maybe a bird or some birds flying by, and other children playing. And your mind then begins to expand. It's I would call a small miracle, if you will, that up until that point, maybe you just saw what was exactly in front of you. But as that child sits on that bottom stairs and begins to look up at the sky, he sees that there is an endless blue sky above him. That he may or she may sit there and look at the endless blue skies, and their minds begin to wonder, like, what is beyond those skies? And you look at the clouds, and in my mind, I see these white clouds, and there's big puff clouds, and as they begin to change and shift and morph into shapes that as a child you may not have seen before, your mind begins to expand. Ashe. It's like, wow. You begin to look and wonder, not just at the bottom of the step, but like, what is beyond that corner? What happens if I go further? I say our minds begin to open up. And then you realize at that point in time that, of course, you may not be able to physically leave the stoop or those stairs to find out what it is and where you're going, but you understand that there is more to life than you had experienced to that point. I see. That at that point, when you start to see beyond the limits that you have set for yourself, you see that there is an endless sky in front of you, that the vista and the veranda, just, it's all open, the horizons open up to you. I would like to say that I believe that this whole new spirit, it starts to, a new experience starts to activate that spirit within us, Ashe. That as we sit there and realize that there is more to what we've experienced to that point, our spirit starts to move. That there becomes like what Howard Thurman calls a restlessness of the spirit. That spirit can no longer be contained by your physical limitations. Because now your mind has expanded. This restlessness may manifest itself, I believe, in our dream. Ashe. Stay with me, Wosei. That our dreams become the vehicles in which we are able to navigate our endless spirit. Ashe. That these ancient spiritual waters that have been traveled by our ancestors for so many years. Howard Thurman goes on to say that the dream in the heart is the outlet. It is with the living waters welling up from the very springs of the beginning. That again, the dreams in our heart is an outlet. It is one with the living waters that are welling up in us from the very springs of the beginning, nourishing and sustaining all of life. Now, in our Hosea, we find something that says again, Amun-Ra says, I found no place on which to stand. I formed it from the desires in my heart. I take that to mean that Ron was saying that we are now moving from dreams to the creation of what is in our hearts. Ashe? Too often during these modern times, I hear people say that they're realists. You know, I'm real. I'm keeping it real, keeping it 100. All right. That what begins to happen is that I dream when we become so down to earth and we're keeping it so real within the realm of this world that we begin to devalue the dreams. Our dreams begin to be seen as luxuries, and people begin to grab hold of the material things. And when we do that, you start to devalue the potential offered by navigating your dream. That man begins to, I say man is in essence placing his belief on the whims of mankind. And when we do that, I say that we are releasing or letting go of our faith in the Most High. We keeping it, I'm 100. We're not knowing that, no, you're not even 100. You got to keep on the power or keep your belief in the Most High there. That man becomes what, without having a belief in a Most High, higher power in Amun Ra, that man becomes what Howard Thurman calls as a seed up on the wind. I say, you have no faith. You don't believe in the Most High. You don't believe in a higher power. You put all your faith in this world today. You will find that he becomes a victim of the currents of life that carries him where they will, with bland unmindfulness of purpose and ends which belong to him as a living, thinking, feeling creature. It means that such a man or a woman that has no sense of center, that he or she takes their cues from the meaning of the values from passing moments, that they take their cues from the transitory events of the day. I say that the immediate issues of the day become the altar that they lay themselves before. I say, are you following me, Bose? That I think that because of that, he says, if you have that he is now has a home nowhere, because he is not at home somewhere, because he does not have, or she does not have a home within the Most High.
Come on now.
They're going to be homeless wherever. I say just spiritually.
Yes.
We're unhoused, we'll call it. So I put out to Wose, I put out to my community, I put out to myself that we need to dream big.
Yeah.
I say we need to dream hard, Wose, because where there is no dream inspired by the Spirit of the Most High, the life, as Howard Thurman says, if you have no dream, then your life becomes a swamp. That it becomes a dreary, dead place, and deep within a man or a woman's heart begins to rot. Not having a dream, not keeping that dream alive, he says that you become, your heart becomes like a swamp where things go to die.
Yeah.
Dreams go to die. So, but also he includes in this, and this talks to me, that our dreams need not be gigantic.
Come on now.
That their dreams they don't necessarily have to be world-changing, life-altering plans. Thurman says that those plans may be important for some, that those plans may be crucial for a particular moment in human history, but that it's not in these grandiose ways that a dream nourishes your life. He says that like a child staring from that bottom step to the top of the tree, you just want to do more. You just want to follow that dream. You just want to see, and that's the dream. That's what keeps the heart alive. I have something that I want to do. I want to move a little bit further like that child. That when it's that the dream, and what it also does is that the dream is that quiet persistence in the heart that enables us to ride out some rough storms, Sister Shanita. Mama Rose, that dream helps us to ride some things out when we look around and there's just trouble everywhere. I just can't seem to get it right, and you're struggling and you struggle. But when you have that dream in your heart, it allows you to say, we're going to be all right.
Teach, Baba. Teach.
As the song that the Stones sing, we say, we're going to make it. I say, you got that dream. I don't know how. I can't put my hands on it at this moment, but I feel within my heart, the Spirit says, we're going to make it. I say that your dream is that ever recurring melody in the midst of broken harmony, chaos, and confusion, that your dream become your song. I say that your melody is that unforeseen force that's drawing you, that's pulling you into that pool, that primordial waters that Amun-Ra used to create all of mankind. That it's pulling you deeper into that pool. And as Amun-Ra says, he says that when I came into being, being itself came into being. All beings came into being after I came into being. Many were the beings that came forth from the command of my mouth. Heavens had not yet come into being, nor had the earth come into being, nor had the ground been created, or things which creep and crawl. He says that I raised up beings in the primordial waters as an inert thing. That our dreams, that our spirit is that water. Our dreams and our spirit is our ability to tap into those primordial waters. I say, community, are you with me? That when times get a little hard, when times become a little challenged, that we are able to go out and wade in those spiritual waters.
Come on now.
I say that we are able to wade in those dreams of our ancestors.
All right.
We're able
Yes.
to wade in the dreams of those who've come before us.
Yes, yes, yes.
I know,
Hallelujah.
as I sit here today, that my mother waded in those waters
Come
of
on
the
now.
spiritual dreams. My mother waded in the waters of my heart. I say that we know, in my heart, I say that Queen Mother Harriet Tubman waded in those waters. At times when I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how we're going to get out of here, but it's in my heart that we're going to make it. I say she waded in those waters. I say that Malcolm waded in those waters. I say when all seemed to turn against him, I say that he waded in those waters. He submersed himself into his belief in the Most High.
Yes.
I say, and I think that we need to wade in those waters, in the river of Ma'at, in that flow that encompasses all around us. I just pray that Amun-Ra be my helmsman, that he helps me to navigate through these turbulent times. I say. And then as we have that dream, as we develop that dream in our heart, and we hold on to that dream, I say we're going to just hold on to it, that we allow the Spirit to take us. Yeah. Like a current that's rolling down in the great Nile or the Congo River, that Spirit, sometimes you just have to get in and let the current of Ma'at take you where you're supposed to go. I say, and Thurman says that once we allow that spirit, that dream to take hold, and we're riding down those currents, he says that the first miracle happened. I believe in miracles. And I'm not talking about some song. I believe at the depth of my heart in miracles. I say, and as we start to see our dream take shape, and we start to see our dreams take form, that we see that these scattered dreams, these dreams that are made up of our hopes and our desires and our aspiration, we start to hold on to those. They start to rise up, and then they begin to unfold in our life. That a man and a woman start to become their dream. As we hold on to this dream with our minds and our hearts, it starts to take over the process of one's thinking and planning. It's like now we're riding on that current of my eye. It will begin to take over, and you start to become your dream. Your dream becomes the embodiment of what and who you are. Your dream, you are becoming your dream. Then he says that the second miracle happens. Shay, that second miracle appears when your dream begins to take on shape and becomes concrete. Shay, and it begins to manifest itself in the particular facts of your life. That others begin to see within you the manifestation, and they start to feel that pull of the Spirit of the Most High. And if this embodiment, if this spirit, if the spirit begins to take the form of an institution,
Wow.
woo,
Come on now.
If he begins to take on as an institution, it begins to take the form of a wose, it begins to take the form of a Eleomade. What that means, according to our dear brother Howard Thurman, he said it means that at the center of that dream, at the core of this institution will be a living, pulsating, ever unfolding, increasing dimension of spirit and creativity. That for those who are listening right now, and you think about that concept, for those who have read the history of WOSE, you know that WOSE Oakland and WOSE Sacramento, you know that it was a dream initially, that was inspired by a spirit that became the embodiment of Minister Makalisi. It was inspired and in spirit, it became the embodiment of Minister Calhoun. That it was inspired and it became the embodiment of Minister Imhotep. That he became the embodiment of that dream. It takes over your life. Those who have read the story and or who were there and witnessed it know that Eleomade was a dream that was inspired by the Spirit, and that it became the embodiment of Mama Jasiri, that it became the embodiment of Mama Oyen, that Eleomade became the embodiment of Mama Okanona. Now, can you imagine if we take these dreams, that what our world would be like? Mama Darnisha, just imagine, if you will, for a minute, that if you had to take your child in to speak to somebody about how they are, or a family counselor or something like that, if you walked in to get some help in shaping what you are, that you walk in and you see this face right here, you're going to feel all right. Can you imagine if you walked into a bank and you needed to take out a loan to buy you a house, start you a business, you walked in and there was the president of the bank. How would your heart feel? Can you imagine if something was going on and you needed to go down to the city of Oakland, you needed to go to the city of Berkeley, and you wanted to walk in and meet the city manager, and you walked in and the brother looked like this? When our hearts start to rise, when our hearts become lighter, when we understand the congressperson, you want to go in and talk about an issue, and you walked in and you saw this face right here. If you see a face that looks like you walk in and right there's your congresswoman. There's your senator right here. Can you only imagine if you had to walk into a courtroom and you had to make a petition to the judge for something significant? The judge looked like this sister here. You know it's going to be fair. You know it's going to be mine. Can you imagine if you walked in and you had to sit down at a tribunal and get something worked out and you wanted Ma'at to be on your side and you want to do what's right and you walked in and then you looked up and you saw the face of this sister right here?
Aseo.
You know we're going to be all right. You know that we're going to be all right. When you walk in and we see people that look like us and know that we can do anything, it starts to lift our spirits. Ashe?
Aseo.
So there we go. I'm thinking, can you imagine if you had to sit down and lay your heart out to somebody? You wanted someone in power, someone in a position to hear my plea, hear my prayer, be with me. And this sister showed up.
Yes.
How you feeling? How you feeling? You know that my heart is on my side. I believe that anything is possible. All right, she. Wait a minute. I skipped the jump something. I got so into my story, I forgot. I began by telling you about my grandson. He's still up in that tree, Ashe. That's something else that happened. I'm sorry, Adisa, my grandson, Adisa, and my granddaughter, Aquia. I started to tell you about their story, and Pawpaw got turned around. So I'd like to go back and let you know that as we travel along our way, pursuing our dreams, I see, down the river of Ma'at, riding on that spirit. Sometimes, family, sometimes we run aground in life. I say,
True.
life begins to push us off course, and by the forces of chaos and confusion, they pull us away from our way, our spirit-drawn way. We begin to run into contempt from those around us. We begin at times to be tempted by life itself, I say, from what is all around. And as my grandson so profoundly shouted out when he's on top of the tree, he was about 15 feet up. He was climbing, he was trying to come down, and he said, I have lost my way. So profoundly worded, like our ancestors that at times seemed to lose their way as they were wading through the swamps of a decadent society. I say,
Come on now.
misleading you with the values of the passing moment.
Yes.
Misleading you with the transitory event of that day. Misleading you with the newfound issues of the day. We are pushed off course and we begin to wonder where we are and how do we get back on track? How do we find ourselves? We begin to look around in search of that North Star. Shay.
Come on now.
Well, I'm here to tell you, family, when you're in doubt, when you feel like you've lost your way, when your life seems to have run aground and you don't know where to go, I would say to my grandson, I would say to each and every one of you, Ma'at is the way. I say, Ma'at is truth, Ma'at is righteousness, Ma'at is reciprocity, harmony, balance, right order. We always say, think mine, speak mine, do mine.
Yes.
I say that in the beginning, the Creator said that He organized and put all together with Ma'at as a foundation.
Yes.
Ma'at said that when I came into being, being itself came into being. I formed it with the desires in my heart and laid it through the foundation of Ma'at. I say, Ma'at is what? Ma'at is truth. Ma'at is what truth is. It's what comes. Truth is, it is that which comes as it wills and shows you how to live correctly as being of self-knowledge and self-mastery. That's truth. Ma'at is justice. Justice, it's the principle of doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, doing all that you can to make it the law throughout every land. Ashe. I've lost my way. The way is Ma'at. Ma'at is righteousness. It's your God-given capability for consciousness and action, moving in the infinite direction of the greatness, the greatest fulfillment as a facilitator, a protector of truth and justice. As he shouts out, I've lost my way, you say, my way is Ma'at. Ma'at is harmony. It's the ongoing growth of becoming your total being in response to the continuing increasing impact of the infinite dimension of truth upon the hearts, minds, and the spirit. Ma'at is balance. It's the capacity and the power to stay the good course as we go down this road. It's the ability to stay the course when the world opposes it and opposition seems to conspire to dismember Ma'at and maybe you as well. Ma'at is right orders when you respect, when the respect for Ma'at, for truth, the respect for justice, the respect for righteousness, the respect for harmony and balance lives within the hearts of everyone. It's when the heart and the mind hold reverent respect for the well-being and fulfillment of every being, and it holds the same respect for the needs of nature and the cosmos. Ma'at is reciprocity. Ma'at it's the understanding that all giving and taking should be done for mutual benefit. Ashe. It's knowing not to take more than is one's share. It's knowing to give based on your need and your ability to give and not what others are giving. Ma'at is fairness. It's making sure that everybody gets what they deserve. This shows the true understanding of the principle of Ma'at. Ma'at is you think Ma'at, you do Ma'at, you speak Ma'at. If you see that my ship has run aground, if I see that you have been put off course on your righteous journey, then I should do as Ma'at asked me to do and lend you a hand. I should reach out to you and hold my hand, brother. Hold my hand, sister. If you see that I need help moving and sliding down that tree to that elusive branch that I'm not sure-footed at this time, then do Ma'at. Be Ma'at. Speak Ma'at.
Yes.
If someone, a child or a mother, needs a voice, they're voiceless, they feel powerless, then I think doing Ma'at, it is your duty, your responsibility to speak up if you can. Not going beyond stay within your abilities, but speak up. Don't leave them out there. Like my grandchildren showed me, sometimes we don't need to wait for the firemen. My grandson was about 15 feet up on this tree. And as he was coming down, he said, I lost my way. I can't remember the route that I took to get here. And my granddaughter ran and climbed up the tree all the way up to the top. She didn't need to call a fireman. She didn't need for someone to come with an extended ladder. She went up there, and sometimes all it takes was that assuring hand she placed on his chest and helped him to slide down to that next branch. And from there, I'm all good. I'm good. He came on down the tree. Shimmied all the way down. I say sometimes all we need is Mama Conke, that smile, that beautiful smile that you have when you see somebody in stress, you see somebody in despair, you see somebody struggling, just to be able to walk up and just give them a smile. I say, give them a little joy. I say, give them that hand of insurance. I say, just sometimes just being present. You don't necessarily have the right words to say, just being present is all that is taken. I say we need to speak Ma'at. We need to do Ma'at. We need to think Ma'at. Sometimes if I'm struggling, Minister Alicia, and I don't know what to do, you may not be able to come and carry my burden. Sometimes all I will need is one of your powerful silent prayers for me. You bend down and you pray for me. I pray for my community. That may be all we need. That's all we need to slide back out on that river of mud. I say that as we struggle, as we go through life, you know that if you lose your way, that Ma'at is the way. So I'm asking today, I'm asking this community that as we go along, that we keep alive the dreams in our heart.
Yeah.
I see.
I see.
That we dream big dreams. I see.
I see.
And if ever, as you following that righteous dream, that it seems that you may have lost your way, I want you to remember, Ma'at is the way. I say. Thank you.
All right. The way
Ah,
is
shit.
not. Give thanks and praise for that message today coming from Baba Sydney. From the books of Knowing of Creation, Ra's description of his creation, using Howard Thurman, the dream of the heart, telling us not to devalue the spirit. If you would like to join us today, if you would like to be a part of us, if you want to think Mott, speak Mott, do Mott, live Mott, if you need a sister reaching her hand to rescue you out of a tree,
Yeah.
we invite you to come today. What a powerful message, and I'm sure people will want to listen to that again and again. You know, don't devalue your dream. Dream big, but it doesn't have to be a mountain. It could be just a little hand. It could just be. It could start small to build into something big. Give thanks and praise for that message today. Would you come if you'd like to become a part of us? Just you know, raise your hand or mention yourself in the chat, or just come and say, hey, I want to be a part. We invite you today. We encourage you today to come and be a part of us. Thank you, brother. Oh, and I saw something in the chat that said I could see you two as you were singing the song, washing the dishes together. So give thanks for that. Beautiful song. I didn't know that you were bilingual, that you actually spoke Xhosa and Amazulu. Give thanks for that today. See, I will say you get so many things going on. We're bilingual. We're dealing with Mott. We're reaching beyond what our traducers have given us, and we're trying to live in accordance with Mott. Give thanks and praise for that today.
I see.
Won't you come?
I see.
Won't you come? The way is Ma'at, truth, justice, and righteousness. We believe the teachings of our elders and our ancestors created God and created the universe. Give thanks and praise, Baba Sydney, for that message today. And I can tell by your exhortations that it came from the heart. Give
Thank
thanks.
you. Thank you, Baba.
All right, now I'm taking over from Minister Makalisi. I'm Makalisi today. Invitation today. Thanks in that. Well, we're going to give you just a little bit more time if you'd like to join us today. We just completed a great group of new members, and we're looking for that second batch. If you'd like to become a part of us, we invite you to come today. And you see Baba Sydney and Mama Connie, they are in the background. That is at the temple of Edfu. And as you ascend on the walls, you can see the king's list, and they're going into the light. And so that's it, and they're taking us with them. Give thanks and praise for that today. All right. Mama Shanita, are you full enough? Or you're unfull to sing us or give us our song, Lift Every Voice and Sing?
Yes. As a matter of fact,
Tanita's gonna bring that song to us.
Yeah.
Who is doing that?
as a matter of fact, I have, wait, can you see me a song? I've invited my dad to sing with me.
Oh, give thanks. All right, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Praise.
Beautiful.
And then as I was listening to the message, someone was like, hey, ask him to sing with you. Okay.
Somebody raised their hand to join.
All right, I didn't see that. All right, we'll pick that up after the song, but thank you, Indata, for letting us know that.
Okay. And y'all met him before. Baba Pack, last name like my Pack. Baba Arthur, Deacon Arthur. All right, I'm gonna do this. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
I see. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. As we all standing in our mind visually. We may be sitting, but in our mind, my spirit says that your spirit have all risen up high together. And as we stand here, our spirits, and we holding up one another up, we know that we are walking in the footsteps of some mighty people. I say, we know that this road has been walked before. We know that we are following in the footsteps of our ancestors, knowing that our ancestors have laid it down before us, letting us know that we are one people, having one aim,
one aim,
faith,
one faith,
one destiny.
one destiny.
And as our ancestors have called out since time immemorial, they've called out and said, Amen. You are the most beautiful people on the face of this earth. I say,